Big Oaks Equestrian Campground is located in Michigan's Lower Peninsula, north of Lewiston in Atlanta, right along Avery Lake and very near the Avery Lake State Forest Campground. The Big Oaks Equestrian Campground, as you may guess, is definitely intended to be used by horseback riders that are either traveling through the area on horseback or looking to trailer their horses north for some horseback riding. As you can see by the sign I just passed, there is no boat launch at this campground. You just have to go up the road a short distance to the Avery Lake State Forest Campground. Here at the campground registration station, we have a couple unique signs here that I'm going to flash up real quick. You have the Big Oaks Equestrian Trail Map. You have the emergency numbers and emergency vet numbers. Here is another trail map that you could take a photo of and take out on the trail with you. And there's a baby bird nest with some baby birds in it. We're going to check out the hand pump here at the campground. This is one of the first things you see when you enter the campground, so get your water at the beginning or drive back around. You might not want to carry it too far if the well even works. Holy Lord. There we go. There's a little bit of water. Man, that was a lot of pumping. It pumped super easy, but that's a lot of pumping for a little water. There is a notice posted here, and pretty much the gist of it is that these sites are for equestrian use first, and please save the larger sites for the people with the horse trailers. If you're traveling up this way in a vehicle with a tent or a pop-up camper and you don't have any horses with you, please take one of the smaller sites that do not have equestrian specific things at the campsite, like some of these sites you will see. Some of these larger sites are pull-through style sites so that you can get your large horse trailer through here, but most of them are going to be back in only. I'm going to make a quick loop around the entire campground, so bear with me here. There are 24 sites at this campground. It does cost $20 a night to stay here. And you do have some really nice big sites available for the equestrian trailers and for horseback riders who just are riding in from the trail and they need a place to throw their tents up. You can see there's a few flies riding around in the air in front of me. These are stable flies and you definitely are going to expect them at an equestrian campground. Something else that you don't see at most other campgrounds that I am finding at equestrian campgrounds is a little bit of hay and alfalfa growing. This is actually a really nice, quiet campground. I thought there'd be people staying here due to the nice weather that we're having, and really it's still early summer yet, so people are itching to get out on the trails. But there is nobody at this campground, so it is super nice and super quiet. You don't have great access to the lake from here at all, so don't expect to be able to just walk your horses down to the edge of the water or anything. That's not going to happen. You can see several of the sites are directly across the road from one another. However, the ones that are side by side do have quite a bit of growth in between, so you're not going to be able to see your neighbors super well. Here's one of the first outhouses that I've come up to, so we're going to check this out. It says it's number 3, but for my hike around this campground, it's number 1 for me so far. And it's nice and clean, exactly what you would expect from the state forest campgrounds up in this area. And there's my finger, in case you didn't see it. Looks like some little bleeding hearts or something like that. That's kind of unique. This is also unique. Campsite number 10. This is definitely designed for equestrian use only. And you can see you got a nice little corral to put a couple of horses or whatever in. I suppose you could put a large dog or mother-in-law or something like that in here, but I think it's actually intended to be used for horses. You can still see flies flying around. Shortly after campsite number 10, we came up to this generator solar-powered water spigot. Now, the generator-powered spigots are not unusual. They're at almost every single one of these equestrian camps. but I've never seen one before that had solar panels on it. I guess I'm going to check this out a little bit closer, because if there's solar panels, there should be a charge. There's my finger in the way again. I think I figured it out. I actually have to plug it in. So this thing is not plugged in all the time, probably for safety so it doesn't drain the battery. Plug it in, turn it on for a few minutes, and let's see if we get water now. There we go. You can actually see the pressure and hear the pressure, and the water comes right out. Very nice. You could definitely bring a hose and fill up quite a bit of water with that thing to drag back to your campsite if you needed to. I'm going to make sure to shut this off and unplug it and leave it exactly how I found it. I don't want to mess this up for anybody else that actually needs it, but that's a super awesome design. Way better than having to haul your own generator up here. Here is campsite number 16, probably one of the more secluded campsites out here. There's the other two outhouses, number 1 and number 2. I've always just assumed those are hitching posts to tie your horse up to when I see these great big poles in the ground. I don't know for sure. Maybe you know, and you can comment on the video and let me know that that's what they are, or if I'm wrong, what they're really intended for. I'm just continuing down the road here. This is campsite number 21. And you can see all of these campsites pretty much are just massive. Campsite number 2, plenty big enough for a horse trailer and a regular travel trailer that you're going to back in and stay in yourself. You can fit all kinds of stuff in some of these campsites. Campsite number 4 is the last campsite here. Overall, I really liked this campground. It'd be a nice, quiet place to stay.